Hello everyone, welcome back to Blackjack. I'm Blackjack Gabbiani, and today is going to be pretty interesting. I may have been spoiled on next time. Someone in the Rabtunes Discord just could not keep their words to themselves and doesn't use spoiler tags, but I don't think I've been spoiled on the victor here. I've been told next time may be Dante versus Clive, which would be fantastic because they've never used a Final Fantasy character who isn't from 7 before. But, yeah. For this, okay, yes, it is the live action battle. I know I had said this could be the live action battle last time after the Ismahawk logo was displayed. I did not recognize the Ismahawk logo. Remember, they've only done 2 battles to this point, and I don't follow them individually. So, you know, bear with me. Fortunately, no one actually called me out on that, so, okay, here. There we go.
Blade versus Buffy.
The Daywalker versus the Vampire Slayer.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out
I like
who
that
would
they're
win
kind of making
a
her
death
look
battle.
more like the original live-action Buffy from the movie.
They are known by many names. Revenant, Vortala, Nosferatu.
Vampires.
Yeah!
And the night is young. These undead demons are out for blood.
Fitting then that the greatest foe of those who stalk the night is the one who can walk the day. Blade.
Is that really his costume?
Hang on.
Now there's a man who doesn't file his taxes. Blade is one of the coolest superheroes ever, and basically kickstarted the comic book movie craze.
And yes,
Sort
he
of.
is also seemingly the only one who knows or cares that in the world of Marvel, vampires exist. Seriously, nobody
Nice.
talks about this.
Blade doesn't
Isn't,
need anyone's help. He'll
didn't they
just
say
horror farm by
Doctor
himself.
Doom
Even
carries
Blade's
part of the
birth
True
was
Cross
hardcore.
to
Just as the young Eric Brooks'
fight against
mother was in
vampires?
labor, her attending doctor turned out to be the vampire Deacon Frost.
And he drank her blood
The hell of a name.
before she gave birth.
This
Remember when you could just
infused
name your
Eric with
kid
Frost's
Deacon
vampiric
and get
blood,
away with it?
turning him half human, half vampire. A Dampier.
Giving him a ton of vampy powers, but none of their weaknesses like garlic, holy water, or sunlight.
Eric would hone these abilities under the
Just
tutelage
keeping
of
holy water in
vampire hunter
jars.
Jamal Afari, sharpening him into a blade that would rape the vampire.
You know how you
plague
make
for
holy
good.
water?
Blade
Yeah,
is
boil the
strong
hell
and
out of
fast
it.
enough to toss around 1,000-pound demons and cut bullets out of the air. He can keep up with Wolverine, who can deflect Cyclops' light speed optic blasts.
Nice.
And his Kevlar DuPont armor helped him
I mean, it's
take
not
the
just light
top of
speed, it
Count
is
von
light,
Stott's
right?
castle exploding.
He can heal small wounds immediately.
Okay.
And
Though Blade has been incapacitated via stabbing, his healing factor has powered through impalement blah, 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 in secondary material like Blade the series and the Blade anime. Nice. Pity you cannot watch as Mjolnir fills this dread monolith Hulk. Flirt later, Thor.
sniff out the supernatural with his hypersenses. Also, his fangs can drain his victims of magical energies.
Ooh.
After studying the ways of Hong Kong Kung Fu movies, Blade became a master martial artist.
You know,
Yes,
the karate you
rapist
learned on the
from
internet.
Street Fighter School of Kung Fu.
While the only martial art he's been stated to know is Krav Maga, we know he's mastered more. So for the
Nice.
full scope of his martial arts ability, we'll examine the Blade movies as performed by Wesley Snipes.
By
Okay.
looking at Snipes' training and choreography, we know Blade uses Kung Fu, Capoeira, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Eskrima, Kickboxing, Shotokan Karate, and Hapkido. And on Blade's
That
knack for
sure is a
stealthy
lot.
takedowns, and I guess you could call him Marvel's Batman.
Blade's training progressed smoothly until Afari was attacked and had his blood drained by Dracula. Seriously,
You-
Avengers, Dracula
gotta-
is real. Why aren't you doing anything about this? He's right there.
Forced to murk his surrogate dad, Blade would have to wage his war alone.
Gosh.
Nursing a wound within him that would never heal. A hole that could
I know a
never
lot
be
of people
filled.
wanted him
Not
to
with
fight
that
Alucard,
attitude.
too.
Blade took a page out of
Okay. Prosthetic handgun, anti-hypnosis goggles, breathing gun, boy thing. Okay.
Book a boomstick and tried filling that hole with every kind of weapon imaginable.
Nice.
He's got so many, they're his apartment decorations.
Handguns,
Yeah.
assault rifles,
I mean,
and explosives
where else are you
take
gonna
the
put 'em?
brunt
A
of his
warehouse?
firepower. And he enjoys getting up close and personal with his dual acid-etched titanium katanas.
Speaking of glorious Nippon
Nice.
steel, he's got a sword made out of adamantium.
Specifically, secondary adamantium, a variant of the metal that is mass-producible.
It may not be quite as strong as Cap's shield, but it can cut right through heavy hitters like Ultron and the Hulk.
Naturally, Blade
Dang.
has even more swords. His Atlantean ones can slice through magical enchantments. The Word Sword can harm intangible demons.
Okay,
and the
then.
Justiciar can slay fallen angels.
Yeah, he's got some weird stuff he can pull out of his ass.
Hey, I wanna see that. It's the minus key, right? No, captions look like this. No, I'm not trying to put captions on. I'm trying to use the minus key. So, see, otherwise it takes it back 5 seconds if you hit
Yeah,
the.
he's got some...
Okay. Sugar coated on the outside. In the middle layer is a cyanoacrylic acrylic adhesive. When a suckhead starts sucking, Gumball glues itself to his mouth. Keeps on dissolving until Mr. I'm So Cool Because I'm Undead reaches the inner layer, which is pure essence of garlic. I mean, except for the part where it sticks to your mouth. I'm just gonna say, you know, maybe I'd pop that in with a roast.
Weird stuff he can pull out of his ass, like a Hellfire shotgun that burns your soul, or hypodermic needles filled with vampire blood. Seems kind of dumb to turn people into vampires, but it does make them more vulnerable to Blade's arsenal.
All
Oh, dear.
that pales in comparison to the arch weapon of hell in Blade's possession, the breathing gun. It is a living firearm that hisses in the presence of demonic forces. Its
Okay.
sentient bullets chase its victims down. The wounds they cause cannot be healed. And if they get lodged in your body, they'll slowly devour you from the inside out. They can
Okay, in the same fight where the breathing gun harmed him, Cosmic Ghost Rider defended attacks from Captain Marvel that could melt through a star,
even hurt
okay?
Hell Lords and even greater threats like the Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Blade took everything he had and fought his one-man war for almost 100 years.
He's
Nice.
battled hordes of vampires while skydiving, infiltrated the Pentagon, and even took on Spider.
Well, this is the Insomniac version of Miles. Insomniac Spider-Man is on par with mainline Spider-Man and Crusher.
Spider-Man like
Okay.
Miles Morales.
Spider-Man.
Could absorb the energy of a bomb that could destroy Harlem. Blades even bested the spirit of vengeance, Zarathos.
And while
Okay.
he's occasionally allied with teams like the Avengers, he prefers to work alone.
I probably would too if they only cared about me when I was helping them and not ridding the world of, you know, vampires.
Yeah, and Blade is scared of what he might do if he loses control.
Well,
because
yeah.
He does have one classic vampire weakness: a thirst for blood. Blah.
More so after he had a daughter, Brielle, whom he avoided for fear of endangering her. If his blood
I'm surprised he got close enough with someone.
Rage, skyrocketing his strength at the cost of his sanity.
Though it does make him
Oh,
even better
Blade,
at
you
killing
are as
vamps.
interesting
He's
as
made a
I've heard.
cottage industry out of whooping Dracula's ass.
Dracula is unsurprisingly powerful, capable of summoning a thunderstorm that covered all of
Actually, for
Boston
that
with
matter,
the
when are we
weight of
gonna
his
get a Belmont on this
He
show?
didn't hold a grudge though, since he eventually made Blade the sheriff of Vampires, a vampire nation in the ruins of Chernobyl.
Amazingly,
Of
Dracula
course.
has even given Blade some of his own blood, which allows him to shapeshift into multiple forms, like
Of
a
course.
wolf, a horde of bats, or a cloud of mist.
So he can force his way inside your body and blow you up from the inside out, Ant-Man style.
What is with you with the Ant-Man? Blade's hatred of vampires is only matched by his hatred of himself. However,
Yeah,
when Brielle
well,
showed signs of vampiric powers,
can't really help it.
Blade finally found a reason to reconnect with his daughter, training her the same way Afari trained him a century prior.
Even after Blade was possessed by the first vampire ever and tried to take over the planet, Brielle put her dad's teachings to the test, saving both him and the world.
And proving that Blade's lonely war
Uh-huh.
need not be so lonely anymore. With his daughter
Makes it
at
look
his
like her
side,
hair is
and also
glowing.
this plant creature pet called Boy Thing, let Marvel's
Okay, that's
vampires
what
be-
Boy Thing is.
Should they indulge their unnatural urges,
Less creepy than
he'll
I
be
was
sure
thinking.
to meet their end at the tip of his blade.
Whoa.
Today's
Nope,
battle
nope,
football
nope.
season
Shut up.
begins.
Shut up.
Josh At. We on the
Shut.
prize pick lineup.
That's code
To be
Shut.
right.
Okay.
in every generation.
Now, you know
there
what
is
they
a
say,
chosen
save
one.
the
She
cheerleader,
alone
save
will
the
stand
world.
against the vampires,
That is a much different
demons, and
series,
the
but-
forces of darkness. She is the Slayer.
For thousands of years, a new Slayer would be granted incredible powers and was destined to die young in battle against evil, passing their powers on to the next Slayer, and the next, and so on. That is, until the newest Slayer would change everything. Buffy Ann Summers.
Not exactly the first girl you'd think is the savior of humanity. Buffy's only
Oh, she wasn't a cheerleader. I thought in the movie she was. But then it's been like 30 years since I've seen it. Likes pineapple pizza. Thank you. You know, pineapple lovers and pineapple haters do need to set aside their differences and focus on the real evil, anchovies. Death count at least 2,
goals
yeah.
in life were, in her own words, graduate from high school, go to Europe, marry Christian Slater, and die.
But that would all change when the Watcher Merrick appeared and revealed her destiny.
Like, total bummer.
Merrick trained Buffy in the arts of vampire slang, and she became so efficient that she burned down her school. Whoops.
Or she and her mom to move to Sunnydale, California to start a new life, far away from any more bloodsuckers and bad makeup.
Fortunately, small problem, Sunnydale just so happened to be right on top of a hellmouth, where the boundary between Earth and Hell is
That's the
perfect.
sort of thing I
that
think a
sounds
real
like the
estate
Valley
agent
Array,
should be
along with
required
Watcher
to tell
Giles,
you.
Wallflower Willow, part-time bad boy, part-time sad boy
Part-time.
Angel, magical retcon sister Dawn, and Xander. Buffy and her Scooby gang would battle a never-ending series of monsters.
We mean truly never-ending. Sure, there's the TV show, but Buffy has also been slaying vampires across video games, comics, and 128 novels.
Awesome.
Thousands of pages of Buffy lore you've never heard of.
But we're just
Unless
crazy
you're
enough
talking to
speed
someone
read 'em
who's
all.
Buffy carries
read
a
all of
variety
them.
of anti-vampire weaponry. There's wooden stakes, of course, sometimes dipped in Gorgon venom.
Okay. It'll turn a regular person into stone. Blade is not a regular person. Hope's dagger, Olaf's hammer, glove of Mehengan, razor blades, because it's the 90s. By the way, the reason I'm wearing a Pikachu shirt is because today is Solosis Community Day, and I'm hoping to be able to go downtown, except my dad left without me, and where I live right now, it's kind of hard to get to the transit station, especially in the pouring rain.
Venom that can turn you to stone. Though she's also
When I
experienced
move,
with
though, I'm
axes,
gonna be like
swords,
3
quarterstaffs,
blocks
holy
on a
water,
flat
just about
ground.
anything.
You said it! When she fought an ancient demon unable to be killed by any weapon forged in his time, Buffy
Yeah.
introduced his stupid ass to the 20th century. She's
Where
Also
does
a
she
master of
keeping
Aikido,
that?
Judo,
She just
jujitsu,
brought that
boxing,
right in?
Kickboxing, wrestling,
Had it
karate,
next to
kung
her the
fu,
whole time?
Wushu, tai chi, kendo, capoeira, and taekwondo.
I took
Buffy
capoeira. I
apparently
got
thinks Hong
such
Kong's
bad
kung fu
headaches
movie
from it though
masters
that I had
can
to
learn a
quit.
thing or two.
No kidding. Thanks to her Slayer senses, her reflexes are fine-tuned enough to dodge close-range Gatling gun fire,
Nice.
lightning bolts from the sky, and even beams of light. She's kept up with another Slayer, Faith, who can dodge laser beams from point-blank range.
Buffy's strong
Awesome.
enough to bend rebar, punch this board
So they both dodge laser vision. Hers seems to be a lot closer.
half-ton bat monster into the air, and smash hard enough to tear apart a building.
And despite her lack of armor, she can survive massive explosions, like the one that destroyed Cephrilion's lair that's bigger on the inside.
She can even fight blindfolded, but if she is injured, she heals fast enough to be totally fine by the next episode.
Of course.
One time, Angel sucked out almost all of the blood from her body, and she survived. Doubly impressive since Angel's blood draining also drains magical energy.
Yeah, Buffy's
Of
own
course.
magic makes her weirdly resilient to esoteric attacks, like when she expelled this
So that's going to be the question, though. Like, so can Blade's ability to suck magic out of people override that, or is it going to be on the same level as this?
shadow demon trying to possess her body, or when she resisted her soul being ripped apart and scattered across time.
Or that time she jumped into a vat of boiling liquid so hot it could reduce people to skeletons. She was just fine.
She might not show physical scars, but she sure has emotional ones.
Yeah.
The Slayer put a huge burden on Buffy's life.
That's how it's going to
Unable
happen.
live normally, she felt isolated, forced to internalize the trauma she faced on a daily basis. Sure, she had friends, but they couldn't understand her unique struggle.
Like when Angel turned evil after he took her virginity and tried to destroy the world.
What?
That must be one of those metaphors.
Sometimes the worst enemies are the ones you can't fight and who don't fight back.
Made even worse by her having all the memories of the other Slayers bouncing around in her head, dating back to the Stone Age.
Buffy has dreamt
I
of
see.
every battle.
Okay. Buffy can tap into her skills subconsciously. She can react without thinking, sense danger in advance, and fight at full potential even after her memories were erased. Nice. Also, does she remember how each of those Slayers died?
A Slayer has ever fought, and can call upon those skills in a fight, even subconsciously.
But this includes the memories of their deaths.
Oh,
Countless
yes.
women violently dying young. A reminder of her inevitable fate.
A fate that came to pass when she fought the hell god Glory. After leaping into Glory's reality-ending interdimensional hole,
A glory hole, if you will.
I knew it. I knew it.
sacrificed herself to save the universe, dying a hero's death.
And then she came back.
It appears my glory hole joke was poorly timed.
Finally freed of her unfair earthly responsibilities, Buffy's soul ascended to heaven in perfect bliss.
And then she burst right out of her own grave.
Until her friends brought her back to life in the agony of existence. This absolutely crushed Buffy and, ironically, annihilated her will to live.
Oh, that's rough, Buffy. But with the show renewed for more seasons, she had to nut up and continue her endless crusade against all things Spirit Halloween.
Buffy's battle for 48 hours straight defeated vampires immune to tradition.
Okay. Whisted lightning, micro-millisecond reactions, unrestrained magical power. Okay.
Weaknesses, and destroyed the Sword of Sano, which caused the Great Hanshin earthquake.
And of course, both Buffy and her
course
friends
it
have
did.
defeated countless immensely powerful demons.
Like the Queller Demon, which arrived as a meteor and caused the Tunguska explosion.
Of
which
course
destroyed
it did.
over 2,000 square kilometers of forest. Or the Sorrow Demon, which caused a storm that blanketed Los Angeles.
She's also a match for Angel.
Okay, that
who
little
survived a blast
scream
that
there, I thought Athena was acting up because she sometimes make a sound.
Rupture a continental shelf and took hits from Whistler, whose magic contained a bomb that could vaporize London.
She
Of
even
course
faced
it can.
off against the first evil. Literally the embodiment of all evil that predates reality itself.
Forced into battles against
Okay.
stronger and stronger baddies, Buffy clearly needed something to
By
even
that
the
comparison,
odds.
Slayer's
The,
only started in the
Slayer
Stone
Scythe.
Age.
It's
It's
actually
kind
a
of
Bardiche.
Yeah, whatever.
Fairly
I'm just
recent.
gonna say it.
It's practically
This thing is
yesterday.
bullshit.
Containing the essence of Buffy's Slayer powers and created to defeat ancient demons, the Scythe can
This scythe conceived of Child with Willow in the novels, don't ask. I feel like I should ask.
deflect magical projectiles and slice through just about anything. Ghosts, magic, even space itself, destabilizing reality in the process.
Even Silas, the devourer of worlds. Kinda like Galactus, but instead of chomping on planets, he eats the multiverse. And there goes his head.
The Scythe is easily the most powerful tool in her arsenal.
Awesome.
In effect, attaining it completed Buffy, as though it were a piece of her she never knew was missing. With the
Cool.
Scythe, Buffy was finally whole. Being the Slayer was no longer a burden, but a purpose.
And by sharing her Slayer powers with thousands of girls around the world, they all teamed up and kicked the first evil's ass.
Nice.
Suddenly, the always isolated Buffy had thousands of shoulders to lean on, a sisterhood of Slayers.
And thousands more reasons for any wannabe demon conqueror to stay away from Earth. Because unless you want to get
I like how
your
they're all
blood
dressed so
over her
trendy.
stylish yet affordable boots, you'll steer clear of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer.
Woo! Oh gosh.
As you know, we're
Okay.
Skeletor ever. We've got Skeletober merch on the Death Battle store.
The
Wait, isn't that just
Skeletober.
Skeletor?
Skeletober? Yeah. Look at the pillows now. Hell yeah.
I wonder when they're actually going to have Skeletor.
Happy Skeletober.
They've been teasing it for a real long time.
All right,
Okay, gosh. Oh golly, I had. Frick. Okay, well, Buffy needed her friend's help to come back from the dead. At least that one time they described. They say she's died at least twice. I don't know. It's not part of her regular arsenal, I can tell you that much. And I don't think they've ever said that Blade has died. I mean, he's a comic book character, so he probably has at some point. Buffy does seem, at least at the surface, immune to a lot of the things. Like, she's a pure soul, so his evil detecting stuff isn't going to work on her. She can retain her magic powers after getting her blood drained. After supposedly having her powers sapped out. I don't know. That whole bomb that nearly wiped out part of New York was pretty big. That was a big factor when they were talking about Spider-Man a few weeks ago. Is the same incident, right? I don't know. I'm thinking of actually going with Buffy on this one. They both seem super strong and a lot more durable than basically anything. So yeah, let's just go ahead with this. I do have to get out of here. I have to be at the Mac station in an hour. Oh gosh. Okay. So.
Data through all possibilities.
It's time for a live action.
Yay! Okay. We're doing this around others, huh? Oh, they both come to take out a vampire bar, I take it? Wouldn't everyone there be able to sense that she's not one of them? Or is that, like, not a sense that vampires typically have?
We were kings long before they had a name for kings. But now, starved, hunted, forgotten. You have waited long enough. Tonight, we remember who we were. Tonight, we take back what was always ours.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to stop him, dude.
We feast.
Daywalker.
So they could sense him. But not that Buffy's walking around right on their dance floor. Got a whole movie going on. Okay, so we're doing diegetic music. I wonder how long it took to film this. Oh wow, got the guy in back of him too. So see, you know, why are they fighting each other then? Or why will they be fighting each other? I forget what the bomb does. Oh, it's daylight. Guy doesn't care. He's like, okay, this is the greatest DJ gig of my life. I can't possibly beat this. Uh-oh. So that's why they're fighting. Alright, I gotcha. Oh, jeez. Oh. I love that top knot. This may be the longest lead-in before the actual 1v1 starts. No, it's definitely the longest one. Gotcha, gotcha. I notice her steps aren't as practiced as his. She's getting, like, she's stumbling and such like that. But it's not really slowing her down. I wonder if that's something true to the series, too.
You out your damn mind?
Yes! Yes, I would think the answer to that would be obvious. We're all out of our damn minds. Yeah, even Buffy's not picking that up when it's been in the toilet. It ain't gonna work. Oh. That's where her regeneration's gonna happen. There we go. Oh, fuck. Hang on. Hang on. Alright. Okay, yeah, making sure that this is still recording. Alright.
Trying to ice skate uphill.
You gotta have that line. That's the one everyone was quoting. Yeah, affected by a normal item. They said he could be. Oh, hello. Oh, and the living bullet's gonna... Oh, damn. Oh, that's gonna cause a mark. Is it gonna eat her from the inside? And if so, can she get a killing blow before that? From what little I've seen of the Buffy series, she's fairly accurate. There we go. Oh, seems like she's not limping anymore. I like how, despite their power, they're both affected by normal blows. And, you know, pain. Oh yeah, give her time to heal. That's real bright of you. You gotta be cool. Is that gonna be enough? Oh yeah, I was gonna say that just cut through his sword. That's awesome. Oh damn.
It's like you got ahead of yourself.
Awesome.
KO! You be Blade-tenued no longer. I'm surprised. I figured with Blade's many years of comic book history, he'd have the edge.
Believe it or not, Buffy is actually in more comics than
Oh,
Blade.
wow,
Really?
okay.
Man, Blade can't catch a break.
Let's break this
No,
down
he
into
can't.
4 categories.
He
First
really
up,
can't.
Stats. Buffy's lifted much heavier things and survived more significant explosions.
Oh, I see.
Sure, Blade's strong and all, but he isn't literally fucking buildings apart like Buffy.
Scaling to the monsters they fought.
I remember, I think it was the Raptor was saying that if this battle ends with the two of them fucking, I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, Buffy scales to nearly a dozen power feats across her media that exceeds any of Blade's scaling. And Chaos Bleeds, Buffy's sword, Hope's dagger, harmed the god of evil, dispersing its consciousness across all dimensions of reality.
Compare
Nice.
Dracula creating a storm that covered Boston to the Sorrow Demon creating a storm that covered Los Angeles, a city over 5 times larger. You might
Really?
be able to compare
Okay.
Blade to Spider-Man like Miles, who absorbed a bomb that could blow up Harlem, but that's significantly weaker than Whistler containing a blast that could wipe out London. They could both dodge light beams,
Okay.
but that doesn't
Hang on.
keep.
Blade scales to Cyclops and Daredevil, who are said to react in nanoseconds, while Buffy scales to Oz, who is stated to react in micromilliseconds. Both statements are likely hyperbolic and would be equal to each other regardless. I gotcha. That makes
Overall
sense.
edge in stats.
Blade's used to being the odd man out, though, so his versatility is just as important.
With Blade's numerous powers and massive arsenal, he certainly could have overwhelmed the more straightforward Buffy.
Machine
Stab,
guns
stab,
and
stab,
magic
stab.
swords are generally
They should
gonna
just
beat
have
out
that with her in
crossbows
class.
and morning stars. Not to mention, he actually wears armor.
Also,
Yeah.
Blade's faster healing factor.
Oh, I think his armor ability would not resist the Slayer's scythe's facial cutting or power absorption, while he has the ability to burn anyone who feels fear or hurt Silver Surfer. Buffy's supernatural courage would resist this. Yeah. Did they actually say what the armor ability
Immunity to
was?
traditional vampire weaknesses kept Buffy on the back foot for a time. Blade wins versatility.
But when it comes to skill, Buffy's got plenty of experience fighting armed opponents barehanded.
Both of them were masters of a similar number of martial arts.
And Blade has been kicking vampire ass for a century, way longer than Buffy's even been alive.
While Blade may have
Okay,
more
well, Blade
personal
knows
experience,
of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and according to Marvel's Midnight Suns is his favorite show. Let's be real, he hasn't read the
Buffy's
novels.
ability to draw on Slayer battles dating back to the Stone Age, at least 40 times older than Blade, gives her the superior skill. Even then, they both had weapons and abilities so powerful they could end the fight instantly, regardless
Awesome.
of all else.
They're trump cards. Fortunately for Buffy, she actually countered almost all of what Blade could throw at her.
Withstanding Blade draining her energy with his bite? Check.
Resisting the Hellfire shotgun destroying her soul? Check.
Preventing Blade turning to
Okay, the Shadow Demon is described as mist on smoke, and Buffy repelled it from entering her body. She also beat her version of Dracula, who could turn to mist, by timing her strikes between his shape-shifting. Awesome. I got Mist and Buffy combined there,
Mist
if anyone's
exploding
wondering
her
why I
from
said
the inside
Muffy.
out? Check.
Meanwhile, Blade had no way to survive, say, Buffy's Gorgon venom.
Okay, the scythe powers mean Buffy can't be sealed away and can resist the magic nullification of Blade's Indian swords.
Turning him to stone.
And even with the deadly, it just plain gross breathing gun, Blade did not have anything as potent as the Slayer sight. It could easily deflect the breathing gun's
Okay, again, more inserts. The breathing gun's homing bullets have been stopped before, like by Madcap. I'm just going to assume we know who that is. The gun also can't hurt holy beings. Given Buffy's powers are angelic in the novels, the gun may not work against her at all.
Let's back that hit. It will
Okay.
use its space-cutting ability to slice through his unbreakable
Well,
adamantium
it did
sword.
seem to
Don't believe
shoot
us?
her,
Even
at least.
Wolverine's adamantium skeleton was cut in half when a portal closed on top of him. That's the same kind of thing.
And Wolverine's beta adamantium
I'm gonna
skeleton
assume
is
it
a
is.
much tougher version of the same metal.
Oh, and since the Scythe could kill Silas, a multiverse devouring god, I think you could take down Blade with a big enough swing.
Giving Buffy
Probably.
the final advantage over the Daywalker.
Really
Nice.
thought Blade had a chance, but Buffy sure put a damn fear on things.
The winner is Buffy the Vampire.
Okay, now let's see if what
Next time
Yabo
on Death Battle.
McBlab. Okay, yes, it is that. We are finally leaving 7! I actually thought Shulk
Subscribe
versus
and join
Lightning
as a member to see
would
more
be...
Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
I kind of thought Shulk versus Lightning would be their first Final Fantasy that isn't 7. Okay, so I had fun. I got the correct one, and now let's hope that I can actually get to the station when I need to be. Okay, so that was a lot of fun. Apparently, they put the credits in the description now. Okay, so actually, yeah, let's go back to this. Yes. What? No. Still on my OBS menu. Here we go. Fiction Stegall, Meryl Mulroney, Mari Takahashi, and Anastasia Lutz. Nice. Okay, research team, all of them. Oh yeah, here we go. Battle by Isma Hawk. Oh, move it down for this. Yeah, they got so many poor people. Here we go. Oh yeah. Wait, I thought the whole team was stunts. I thought that was like everyone involved. Oh. That's what we need to do. Do any of you ever watch Man at Arms? It's a really interesting show. You can look it up. It's like they don't call it Man at Arms anymore, but they still kind of do stuff. I don't know. There's something. Oh, this is interesting. Ben and Chad were in the. Oh, and Liam. And Lisa. They were all they were all the extras. That's fun. Disco Pussy Nightclub. I ain't even gonna ask. Combatants have no prior knowledge of each other unless specified. Okay, well, good job, everyone. I am going to be uploading this and hopefully getting out of here. I hope you all enjoy. Until next time, I'm Blackjack Gaviani, and we are finally leaving 7! You have no idea how jazzed I am about that. I like Final Fantasy VII, but oh my god, it is not the be-all and end-all of Final Fantasy, okay? Seriously, oh my freaking god.